White the carry, White the cutback, White to the end zone.
Time to catch up with one of the experts who you can see and hear on the Pac-12 Network. Now let's talk everything Pac-12 on the Rock and Minute Show on Fox Sports 910.
You're hot.
Welcome back, everybody. Rock and Minutes with Jimmy B. Jackson's here. It is Shu back in the studio of iHeartRadio on Sports Radio 910, Fox Sports Radio, and we are joined now by Pac-12 Network analyst Yogi Roth. He is getting ready to depart for Houston because he's going to get a chance to watch the national championship game, the Washington Huskies and the Michigan Wolverines. Yogi, thank you as always for coming on the show. When you watch these two teams, what is your first takeaway that you see from Washington and then what you see from Michigan?
Question, and Happy New Year. Thanks for having me, fellas. Always love coming on the show. I think the first thing when you think of both of these teams is I go to personality. You know, for Washington, their personality is one that's going to be dramatically aggressive, play almost as though they're playing downhill at you with the weapons they have on the outside, the arm, and the talent that is Michael Penix. I've said it time and time again. He's an NFL quarterback playing in college. So I go to that personality. And the other side for Michigan, their personality has really been about, you know, proving all the haters wrong, you know, and how do they do it? They become the bully, and they do it by running the football really physically. They do it defensively with the front seven being extremely aggressive. You saw that on center stage at the Rose Bowl. And I think that's what we have. Got two different personalities, two championship caliber programs, and, you know, the 1 and 2 team in America, according to the CFP. And I would tend to agree. I would have flipped it. I think what Washington's done has been more challenging than what Michigan has had to do this season on the field. But for what Michigan has to endure with their coach and all the drama around them, I'm sure that was a challenge in and of itself. So I think we got the best two teams, and I think it'll be another one-score game, just like we saw over the weekend.
Yogi, I think we've talked about this many times, the bad rap of lack of physicality from the Pac-12. And I watched the Huskies this year, one of the more physical teams in the nation. Why does that still linger when they take on a team like the Michigan Wolverines and the Big Ten?
Yeah, I hate to say it. I think it's just lazy. You know, and we've heard, analysts on national networks say that they're soft. Yep. Yet they won the award given to the nation's best offensive lineman. By the way, evaluated by offensive linemen. It's not like it's media members or sports writers voting for that award. I mean, it's people that have lived the trenches like Aaron Taylor, one of the best offensive linemen in the history of college football. So I just go to that. I mean, to say it's basketball and grass, okay, cool. Yeah, they're like the Showtime Lakers. That's a compliment, I guess. But they also, against the 3 best rush defenses in the Pac-12, which were also all top 11 rush defenses in the country, in Oregon State, Utah, and Oregon, they moved the line of scrimmage pretty efficiently. So that's what I netted out with, man. And I think it's kind of like when you talk to people in other parts of the country, they call the Pac-12 the Pac-10, and they think that everybody's running the air raid. And that's okay. That's just what it is. So I've kind of said, hey, I'm going to offer up my services for anybody. Don't guess. Just call somebody on the West Coast. Happy to help all of our friends in the South if they even pay attention to this game now that one of their teams aren't in it.
Yogi Roth here on Fox Sports 910. Washington was close to a double-digit underdog in the Pac-12 championship. It closed as a 4-point underdog in the Sugar Bowl. They're an underdog in this game against Michigan in the title game. What is it? Is it just still that lack of respect for the Pac-12?
I don't know. I talked to a player at Washington's team about this prior to the semifinal game, and he goes, man, all preseason it was how strong the Pac-12 was, and then we go undefeated, and it's kind of like none of that dialogue existed. And I kind of had a chuckle and tend to agree. So everybody was loving up this league all year long, but it was kind of like maybe they weren't as serious as the rest of us were in terms of a true national championship contending team. So I don't know, man. I think this, having talked to Kalen DeBoer extensively and been around this team extensively, they are just saying, okay, just keep adding it. Like, just add it to the list. Heisman Trophy. My opinion, Penix should have won it. And I'm a big Jaden Daniels guy. I just think the championship environments were dramatically more, and Michael shined in those. I look at the Biletnikoff Award. I'm a big Marvin Harrison Jr. fan, but Roma Dunze, every time the team needed a play to be made, He made it time and time again.
Two.
You look at the Pac-12. They had 4 preseason votes to win the league. 2 of them were Ashley Adamson and myself. So I don't know who the other 2 are, but congrats. Everybody else picked USC, and I think Utah got a couple votes. So I just think it's like, just continue to add to that. And that team has liked that. I mean, they really are like, bring it. And they're very comfortable there. And I actually think it's a positive for UW, because it's really not allowing them to, I don't want to say feel themselves too much, but there can be a world where you think you've arrived.
Yeah.
And this team does not have that. And in the same vein, they have not been about proving other people wrong. They don't really give a damn, to be honest with you. Whereas Michigan, they're wearing the T-shirts. It's all about them versus everybody else. Yeah. And I just think that's going to be something that I'll be paying close attention to late in the game. Because if it becomes about proving other people wrong, we've all been around this too long to know that doesn't sustain. That's really not what lasting championship environments are like. It's got to be one focus on yourself. That's what Washington has lived all year long. It's the us versus us, cliche, but it's really been true for them.
Real quick, Yogi, everybody talks about Jim Harbaugh. He's in the spotlight. Kalen DeBoer, this man. It seems like he kind of embraces being the low-key, the down-low kind of guy in games like this. But what is it, the Kalen DeBoer factor for this Huskies team?
Well, look, he hasn't been in a championship game at this level, but he's been in a bunch of championship games. Yeah. And I know that, NAIA and small school football is nothing like the Power 5 when it comes to eyeballs. But this as well as anybody being around this game. When you coach situational football, for instance, it's the same in high school as it is in Pop Warner, as it is in NAIA, as it is in Power 5 or the NFL. Like, you got to be masterful at it. And I'll just say this, in my 20-plus years at this level in my career, they do as good of a job as anybody in coaching the moments of a game, in preparing for certain plays in a game. I mean, look at what they did when going to go for a 4th down, they call a timeout, they still go for it. I mean, little things like that, they're practicing that throughout the entirety of the season, the entirety of game week. I think that's just his magic. Now, does he care that it's a 3-to-1 ratio in terms of articles in regularly read newspapers or websites? I don't think so. When I was at the pregame press conference with him and Steve Sarkisian, it was for every 4 or 5 questions Sark got, Kalen got 1. I think to your point, he was kind of like, all right, cool. Like, not even disrespected. Like, sure. He could care less.
Yeah.
He really could care less. He's about his team. He knows that UW has a brand. He knows that winning only elevates that brand. And he's very aware of how capable they are to win it. So I think he just kind of sits back and says, hey, you know what? You can answer all of them, whether it's Steve Sarkisian or Jim Harbaugh this week at the head coach's press conference. I don't think he's going to care. He's about the game. He's about the guy. He's about situational football. And he's as good of a coach as there is in America. And I think that's been proven in terms of how they have won these close games late.
Yogi, thanks as always. Enjoy Houston, and we'll catch up with you as the season ends. We can talk about the offseason. So thanks so much as always, man. We appreciate it.
Anytime, guys. Yeah, the season never really, truly ends, right?
No, it's going to
keep it rolling.
Yep, absolutely. That's Yogi Roth. You can follow him on Twitter at Yogi Roth. Check him out. Today, he is brought to you by All City Towing. If you're looking for a career in 2024 that pays great with incredible benefits, All City Towing continues to look for new people to join their team. Just head to allcitytowing.com and search careers. That's allcitytowing.com. Coming up, we need a contestant to challenge one of the beautiful Twin Peaks girls here at the Tempe location for a $25 Twin Peaks man card. We'll take the 5th caller at 602-260-9191.
This is The Herd.
The winner in this is also
Colin Cowherd.
I didn't hear about it. I didn't know about it. Hopefully it puts it to rest. Because they didn't have that sign stealing against Penn State, against Ohio State, and against Alabama. That we know. And they went 3-0 and pushed all 3 of them around.
This is The Herd. Tomorrow at 10. Listen to Fox Sports 910 anywhere on our free iHeartRadio.
You said 5, right? Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, you're in the red zone for every college rivalry and divisional matchup all season long. On game day, you never have to decide which teams to watch. Only what combination of bites, burgers, wings, and more to order. Plus, where else are your favorite draft beers always poured at a frozen 29 degrees? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Stick around after the sun sets. Twin Peaks is open really late. Wind down with bourbon and late night bites. Only at Twin Peaks.
What's up, guys? Jason Payne, owner of State 48 Roofing. You can find me on Instagram and Facebook. Hashtag sexy roof status. At State 48 Roofing, we are family owned and operated, born and raised in Arizona. We'd love to give back to our schools and community. Contact us at state48roofing.com.
A homeowner just like you.
Hey.
Decides to fix his roof.
Okay.
He backs up his truck, ties one end of the rope to the bumper and the other to himself.
Smart.
He's working on the back side of the roof until...
What? Wait, no.